Welcome to Subramani. People have asked me, when should we make a change in the will? There are many reasons for you to make a change in the will. So let me summarize broadly into a few. So first of all, when you change your mind, if you change your mind about who should get how much, let's say you have said 50% should belong to your wife and 25% to your daughter and 25% to your son, and you decide to change your mind because your son has gone abroad or your daughter has gone abroad and you don't want them to get any real estate, so you change the mind and say no, 100% of the assets will go to my wife, and after that my wife will be allowed to decide how she wants to give it away. She could decide to give it away to somebody else who helped her and not to the children or whatever. So when you change your mind for whatever reasons, as you age, these things can happen. If you're 85 years of age and your son is 60 years of age and your daughter is 62 years of age, at that stage you might decide that your daughter does not need it, your son needs it, your son does not need it, your granddaughter needs it, whatever it is. If you change your mind, you should of course make a new will. When there is a change in your marital status, so if you were a bachelor when you made the will and now you have got married, obviously you should make some changes in the will. That don't assume that because you have got married the assets will go to your spouse. It will not go to your spouse. I recently heard about a girl who died 4 months after her marriage. 4 months is too short, so it does not really matter whether where her assets go, because that relationship is very new. But if you have borrowed money and if you have bought a house and your mother is a guarantor, then obviously you want to make those changes in the will, because you say, okay, this, my mother is the guarantor, this house will belong to my mother in case something happens to me, or whatever is your intention. Or if you've got married and you're a guy and you suddenly need to know that your provident fund, PPF, etc., the nominees have to be changed, you may want to open a new demat account with your wife as the second holder and not with your mother or father as the second holder, as it was before marriage. So when you make all those changes, make sure you make changes in the will also. Young boy who is not yet married making a will is not really very common, but if you have a house, you should make a will. So my question when people ask when should I make a will is very simple. When you have any real estate in your name, you should have a will. Even if you have inherited that real estate, let's say I die and my daughter inherits the house in which I am staying, immediately she should make a will saying this should go to so and so, because she is the owner of a house. Whether she bought it or whether she got it by inheritance doesn't matter. So when there is a change in the status, change in status means you got married, you got divorced, your spouse died, any of these things should trigger the revision in a will. Just sheer age. Suppose you made your first will when you were 58 years of age and you had not done. Then now you are 85 years of age and now you are sure that there is going to be no great change in your will. Then make a will. You will have to make a will, get it notarized and get it registered also, right? The finality. When you're young, let's say you're 50 years of age and you have made a will, you just got it notarized, that's fine. You didn't get it registered, that's okay. But when you're 80, 85 and you're fine with your all your faculties intact, that's the time when you should go and notarize it and register that will. When you have a child, whether you adopt a child or have your natural child, you should make a will because you suddenly want to include that kid. Then the death of somebody close to you. Let's say your younger brother died and your younger brother's children are now dependent on you. You are very sure that your spouse will pay all the fees, etc., but you suddenly want to give some money to your younger brother's wife or younger brother's children for their education. So you have decided that 25 lakhs to each child will go for education. That's a nice noble thought, but then you have to incorporate it in your will. Of course, you will tell your spouse, you will tell your children that all your intentions are good, but you might as well incorporate that. So on the basis that somebody close has died, let's say a parent has died and you have mentioned a parent in the will, then there is a change required in the will. Or a child, or somebody has lost a child, you have 2 children, one child has died, then you have to incorporate in the will, you have to make sure that that child's name is not mentioned, so that you don't want any confusion later on. So you need to make a revised will. When you buy new property, you need to make a revised will. So you had mentioned one property in the will, now you bought another property, you need to make that will. If your assets are very complicated, then you have to make your will very clearly. For example, if you have invested in art and art products, then you have to mention each of those art by name, so that tomorrow there is no dispute. Or you say all the art belongs to my wife, then it's a different thing. But if you have specifically said, no, this art I want this to go back to the artist, and this I want to give it to my children. And I see people making complicated wills. When you make complicated wills, or rather when you make wills with great mention that the following assets, this chain will belong to so and so, this this bangle will belong to so and so. If there is descriptive assets, then you may need to change. You may have to make a codicil, or you may have to say, okay, the attachment is here, and make the changes in the attachment. Some of those things may be necessary. When you sell off one property, you may want to make a will without any mention of that property. If you have 2-3 properties, make sure that all the way, and there is a change. Like I said, the first thing, when you change your mind, you need to make a change of will. So these are all basically the reasons why you would make a change in the will. Death of a spouse, getting married, change of losing a spouse, losing a child, adopting a child, having a child, children growing up and leaving. So therefore you say, now I don't think my son is already 30 years of age, he has provided enough, so I want to give away some money to charity. That can be a good reason. And this is about all. These are all the reasons why, if somebody has lost a guardian, you mentioned your child and you made your brother the guardian. In case your brother dies, then you will have to make a change in the will, right? Some other changes somewhere, the people mentioned, somebody else mentioned in the will has died, so you have to make a new will. Even if both the witnesses have died or things like that, it is a good it's a good practice to make a will with somebody 20-25 years junior to you as the witness. In case tomorrow there is a dispute and they have to go to court, then better to have a young witness, because even if you die after 10-15 years, that person will still be in a position to go to court. You don't want to get a 85-year-old to go to court, right? So you make a will with a younger witness. So any of those things, change of house, change of residence, change of country, you you decided to migrate to Canada, then there will be some changes that you will have to make here, you make in the will. So these are all the reasons why you should make changes in the will. I think I have included everything, or if I have missed something, apologies. And this is how you should make changes in the will. Thank you.